Hi everybody, my name is Jay Hoad and welcome to the 4-week beginner's ukulele course. I have a huge passion for music. It has been my entire life. My entire life has evolved around music, and on the daily I give gratitude for all the joy that it brings, all the people that I've met, all the countries that I've toured, all the experiences that I've had. And I'm really excited to bring this 4-week ukulele course to you guys and to share all of the magic that I can with you. Today I thought I'd just drop in and teach you guys a little bit about how to tune a ukulele. I have 2 ukuleles here. One is in tune and one is not. These are both concert ukuleles, so they're a nice sort of medium-sized ukulele, as opposed to like a soprano, which is a little bit smaller and maybe better for smaller hands. This is a bit of an intermediate sort of size ukulele. These are both the exact same size. I've been the guys at 3 Worlds Music have been kind enough to lend me some of these new ukes to try and recommend for some of my students. So thank you, 3 Worlds. These guitars are amazing. They both sound beautiful. I've got one here that's in tune and I've got one here that's out of tune, okay? And if it's not out of tune enough, I'm going to mess it up a bit. There's a few different ways of tuning. You can see on the top of this one I have this little blue and green color swapping thing. This is called a tuner. This is an electronic tuner. So this is a pretty amazing way to tune the ukulele. It literally tells you what to do. I'm going to teach you today how to tune the ukulele by your ear as well as using the electronic tuner. Not everyone would have an electronic tuner at home. So for those that do, you can usually set them on the ukulele setting, and it's got a U here. I don't know if you guys can see that there, but it's just come up. I've pushed it a few times and it says U, and that's set to the ukulele. So if I start with that first string there, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it says G, okay? So that's coming up with a G, and that green means it's in tune. If it was a bit flat, it's got a little dial up the top, okay? And if it's a bit low, it needs to come up. If it's a bit high, it needs to come down. So it needs to sit right in the middle. So that first string there, it's got G and 4, which is the string that we're on. The next one here, it's a little bit flat. So the next string is a C. And it's a little bit flat there, so it's not quite sitting the green. So you can hear I've just tuned it up a little bit. Now it's actually a bit sharp. So now it's sitting right in that green there, which is where we want it to sit. Okay. So we started with the G, then the next string is the C. Now we're on the 3rd string across, which is saying an E. Okay, that's spot on tune. The high string up there, a little bit out, pretty much right on. So we've got an A string at the top there. Okay, so when you set it to the ukulele setting, it's going to automatically favor those strings of the ukulele. So it'll automatically find those 4 strings for you and literally tell you 4, 3, 2, 1. Or as I like to say, 1, 2, 3, 4. Depends how you teach, as everyone's got a different system, but I'll teach you more about that in the lessons and make it very clear. So now we have another ukulele that sounds a little bit sick, okay? So we've got our one that's in tune now. Let's say your tuner's run out of batteries. So you're jamming by the campfire and you've got another person that has a uke. So we're going to use this one as a reference point to tune the other one. I'm actually going to make you guys a video with me playing each string for 1 minute. So you have a 4-minute audio. I'll do it with the audio. So you have a 4-minute audio sample that will be 1 minute of me playing each string over and over. So you can use the techniques I'm about to teach you to hone in on your ukulele. Cool. So let's try this. So the thing with tuning the ear, and this is like oral training, one-on-one, okay? This takes time. It's never easy when you begin. And if you've had no experience with this before, it's totally cool. It does get heaps easier. So if you find this challenging, that's totally to be expected. That's very normal. The more you train the ears to be sensitive to pitch and through the methods that I'm going to teach you in this course, the more it'll get easier. So just stick with it, okay? So again, we've got this one here that's in tune. Now, first of all I need to work out whether this note on this out of tune ukulele is higher or lower, because then I can adjust it to suit. So we've got the note here of the in tune ukulele. Da. So you guys can hear that note. Da. Can you try and sing that note with me? Da. Now some people might be like, da. That doesn't sound right. Or like, no, that doesn't sound right. Okay, so how do you find that note? What I generally do when I'm tuning my ears in is I'll start from a low note and go up, or a high note and go down. Let's say with this example, I'm going to go from a low note and go up. So I'm going to go low, and I'm going to start to creep that tone up. I'm going to go, duh. Could you guys do that with me? Okay, you can keep going. You feel a bit silly. You'll get used to feeling a bit silly hanging out with me because I'm a bit silly, and this is just kind of how it goes. So make some noise. Again, we're going to try to do a low note as low as you can. Low. Let's go high. Low. Okay, so somewhere in that vicinity is the in tune ukulele note. So we're starting again on this string here. Okay, first one on the uke there. So I'm going to basically find that note. So I'm going to try and sing it. Now I can hear that. Okay, it's sort of around there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start low and work my way up until I hear that note. So I'm going to play that note nice and strong, and I'm going to start low and I'm going to go up until I hear that note. So I'm going to go do. Can you guys hear that that's the same note? It's it takes a little bit to get used to. The other way is coming from a high note. Once you've hit the note, once you've found the notes, I would say practice singing that note 3 times. So da, da, da. So there's your note. So now I can hear that note and I can sing that note. Da. So the next thing is to play this out of tune note. So that exercise is starting to tune the ears into the voice and the instrument, which is a whole sequence of practice that I'll again teach you more about in the 4-week course, or if you're doing another course, it'll come up in there too. So now what I want to do is I want to play this out of tune note. Okay, so here's the correct note. Can you guys tell me if this note here is lower or higher? So here's the correct note. So I've gone da, da, da. So I've gone from the correct note da, down lower to the low note da. So it's lower. Okay, so I've got to tune that up to da. So da. So I'm going to go up until I hit da. Da. How's that sound? What do you reckon? We got it. All right, let's try the next string. So again, if I start on a low note to find that note, listening to it, what you'll find after practicing this all the time, you'll be able to hear that note and just get right onto it straight away. Okay, so I can hear that. If I wasn't sure, I would start really low and work my way up. There's my note. Da. So now I'll play this one. Da. Does it sound higher or lower? So we got da, da, da. So this out of tune note is higher. Okay, you can hear I've gone the right note. Da. There it is. So I've got to bring that note down to da. Da. Sounds pretty good. Okay. You can fine tune it a bit later, but we just want to get it really close. The ukulele is pretty forgiving. If it's slightly out of tune, it doesn't sound horrifically bad, like a violin. It's got to be spot on, right? Because everyone's been tainted by that ugly brush. As much as I love the violin, the tuning can be if anyone's been stuck by a person learning violin for the first year of their violin life, it's an experience. Okay, so now here we go. Third string. There's my note. Da. So if I try and find the note, da. There it is. So this one, da. Is that higher or lower? So here's the correct note, and then the lower note. Da, da. So we got da. Here's the wrong note. Da. So I've gone correct note, da, down to the lower note, so I've got to come back up. Sounding pretty good. Okay, so we've got one last string. Da. There's my note, so da. So on here is my note here, higher or lower. Here's the correct note. Da. Oh, we got da. So we got correct note. Da. Correct note is higher. Incorrect note. Da. So it's lower. This incorrect note is lower. So I'm going to bring that up to da. Check that. Da, da. There it is. Let's head. Pretty good. Cool. So I could go and fine tune that. Usually when I get to the end, I'll go back to the beginning and give them a quick fine tune. What happens as the tension of the strings change, let's say a few of those strings were quite out of tune, because I actually tuned them up and created more tension on the neck, it's actually brought the neck slightly up or down, depending on how much more tension or much you release. So usually once I get to the end, I'll actually have to go back through and quickly give it a fine tune. That one's a bit out. And then it should be, there we go, perfect, perfectly in tune. There we go. So that's how you tune a ukulele by ear. So all these methods are really important to start tuning the ears. So I highly recommend this technique of going low and high up to the note and seeing how you go. Thank you so much, guys. I will look forward to seeing you in lesson 1 of the 4-week beginner's ukulele course. Thank you again. We'll see you all next time.